Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to talk about our energy, grounding into our energy, and really just being mindful of the vibration of our energy. Like we really want to level up our vibrational frequency. And when we do that, things that happen to us or things that are going on in our lives, if they are hardships or tough times or just situations that we're not happy about, it can be a little easier to navigate. And speaking from personal experience, I would say these last 2 years have been difficult for my husband and I. And not to say that we have a very strong marriage, happily married, but we have struggled. He has had a tough time in his career, and speaking to a lot of clients out there and hearing just from the collective, I know he's not alone. And when you're out there, putting yourself out there, doing a job search, going through the interview process, it can be very deflating when you're putting yourself out there and you don't hear back, or you get like those automatic declines, or like worst off, you go through the entire interview process and then they ghost you or you don't hear anything back. So I know that is a huge blow to your self-worth, and it doesn't have to be career. I mean, there's a number of hardships that are happening to people where it makes us question our self-worth and are we enough? We start to doubt ourselves, and that is a very tough place to be in. I get it 100%, and I know it's so hard to pull yourself out of that. But the message here is that when we are in that state, our frequency, because our energy vibrates at different frequencies. So if we're in that state, our vibrational frequency is low. And then so if we're not mindful of it, the universe mirrors that back to us. So it's important to, I get it, we may need to feel in the moment and feel those feelings, but it's so important to be able to pull yourself back out of it. And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm just so proud of my husband, and even me as his wife, like watching him go through that. It's very tough watching your significant other or a family member struggle with anything, whether it's a career, health related issues. It could be a number of things, but you really feel it, and at times you can take it on. So I get that 100%. And so if you're watching this and you can relate, we can help empower the people around us, the people that we love, to help them work through that, to help them shift their mindset as much as possible. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in a week. It takes time. And even for me, yes, I'm a healer. I teach these things to my clients, and still I practice it. So we're never perfect. So give yourself grace. Like if you're one day you've got it, and then the next you're feeling really down and it's hard to pull yourself out of it. But the point of this is to talk through ideas to help us raise our vibrational frequency, ways to protect our energy. And I bring it up because this month there's a lot of cosmic shifts energy going on, and I felt it was the perfect time to talk about that. This month it's November 14th that I'm recording this, but we have our full moon in Taurus tomorrow. And then we have Pluto moving into Aquarius shortly after that. And that's a big energy shift. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that. And then a few days later, Mercury's going to decide to go retrograde. So a lot of these shifts will call for us to tune back in and to help ground our energy. Now, Taurus is the full moon in Taurus, like that's going to invite us to really ground into our energy. And then with Pluto shifting into Aquarius, there is going to be a lot of transformation and change, or I mean, as you all know, and there's anxiety around it. Like I'm sensing some anxiety around societal change, which I completely get. We all know that we have a new president, and there's a lot of anxiety of like, what is to be, what's going to happen. You're going to see some transformation with just how we communicate with each other in our communities, how we interact, how we work together. And there's even going to be some technological advancements. But the biggest thing that sticks out to me is like the anxiety of the unknown. And so I'm here to tell you that everything is going to be okay. And it's important that we just take a step back and control what you can control. You know, the world isn't going to end. Everything's going to be just fine, and we will get through it. We need to lean into each other, lean into our communities, and don't be so quick to show hatred or judgment if you have a different viewpoint as somebody. Just try to pause, take a step back, and especially before you take any action. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, I'm seeing a lot of relationships, like long friendships, family relationships being disrupted because of some of these energies shifting around and different viewpoints. And I just want to challenge you, like, is it really worth it? Is this relationship worth losing? And maybe it is, and you're ready to let it go, and that's fine. That is your own free will. You have that choice. But I just encourage everyone to pause. And I know, like, we're not always all going to agree on everything. And that's what makes the world go round, to be honest. But I just want to encourage you to just pause and take a beat before you make any rash decisions. And this isn't just me, like these are our spirit guides asking us to do this as well. So I encourage you to do that. But as always, like, do what's best for you. And back to where I was, sorry, I went off on a tangent talking about Pluto. And we have Mercury going retrograde. And, it's like right before the holiday season, so we might see some changes, unwanted changes in our travel plans. Communication may be like going sideways. Technology may not be working in the way that we want it to. So be mindful of that. And just, again, this is, again, why I feel called to talk about grounding our energy, protecting our energy. There is a lot of power in pause and how we respond and react to what's happening to us. I can't stress that enough. And our spirit guides want us and want all of you to hear that, is to just pause for a second before the words spill out of your mouth, before you react and let the emotions overflow you. Because that is so important. That is so key. And one thing with communication that I'm hearing is that you may feel like what you're trying to say to friends and family, especially when it comes to topics that you're passionate about, you're going to feel like you're not heard, or the other end is not understanding the point you're trying to make. And so just know that going in and going into conversations, and have peace with knowing that you may not always be understood, and that's okay, as long as you believe in your beliefs, your truth. That's all that should really matter. It's not really about trying to convince the people around you. What the guides want you to stand firm in is your own beliefs and feeling comfortable in them, even if you're standing alone. So that is a channeled message directly from my spirit guides. Is like, you don't need validation from friends and family if you know this is your truth and this is your belief. And you can still have these people in your circle, even if you're quote unquote standing alone. You can find common ground in your community still, and still feel comfortable and confident in your beliefs. So if you feel like you've been feeling alone and isolated, sending a lot of love to you. You are definitely not alone. And so I just wanted to take a moment to make sure that you felt the love and that you are not alone, and sending you a lot of just Reiki light and love right in this moment. Okay. So back to some grounding, and protecting our energy. So a dear friend, spiritual mentor of mine taught me this, and I love it. I taught my husband it. I taught, some friends this, and they use it and they say it's effective. So if you interact with people, especially if you feel like there's a certain somebody you talk to, and after you talk to them, you're just so exhausted, before you speak to that person next time, I want you to call in a force field shield of white light. Just imagine like this massive force field shield around you. And I even tell clients, like, the thickness of it is like bulletproof glass, like that plexiglass that you see in the bank. Nothing can come through. So nothing negative can come through. Only good energy is in your bubble. And literally, like, I can visualize it when I'm talking to people. And if I'm talking to somebody that I know is going to drain my energy, I almost like can see it like bouncing back to them. Like, it's not coming at me. So even if they're venting to me, they are really emotional or upset, like, I'm still there, I'm still empathizing, but I'm not taking on that energy. So that's super, super important. Let me know if you do anything similar and how effective it has been. But truthfully, this has been so helpful to the point where I actually, because I do this every morning, and I got a reading recently, and they had said, you have a lot of protection around you. If you have any protection around you, can you remove it? And I was like, oh my gosh, like my force field shield. So just to share an actual example that happened recently. Now, as far as raising your frequency, to me, setting the tone early in the morning is super, super important. It can really set the tone for the day. Now, I get it. We are all busy. Some of us are moms. Some of us are just juggling a million things at once. And so we may not always have time to do all of these routines that we would love to do every day, which I can understand. So it doesn't have to be in the morning, but I will share some best practices with you that can help set the tone for the day. So the biggest thing for me is in the morning, I always reach for my phone, which I get. Like, we're a society that is so attached to our phones. And I do check it. Like, I will look at my phone, but what I do try to avoid is social media, just to at least not have your energy impacted for the day. So if you can, or if it's something else, like if there's an app, or maybe it's your text messages, you have like a group family text message going on. If there's something that that takes your energy away, then at least for the first hour or half hour, and if you can't do that, maybe it's 15 minutes, like, just set a boundary for yourself where you're like, you know what, I'm not going to look at that for the first umpteen minutes for the day. For me, it's social media, so I try not to go right in there and take a look at it. And then secondly, okay, my dog is about to start howling, so I might have to pause the video. Oh, there he goes. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So side note, I have 3 dogs, and I'm also fostering one right now, which I love to foster, and that's like probably another video for another day. But sometimes they love to just start singing and howling. And so they broke out into that. So anyways, I'm back. Okay, so another thing that you can do is really expressing love and gratitude, but it has to truly like come from the heart. It just cannot be words that you're speaking out loud. Because when we are in the vibrational frequency, let me go back. When we are sad, angry, mad, those are low vibrational frequencies. When we feel love, the first time someone tells you they love you, or if you're married, the first time you saw your spouse, like when you were walking down the aisle, that feeling, that raises your vibrational frequency. So it's important to have that feeling, try to live in that moment, and even just journal about it. If you hate journaling and you're rolling your eyes, okay, fine. Like, just sit and think about it. But be in the space, that high vibrational frequency of love and gratitude. And it could be simple. So if it's hard for you, like if you're in like a super tough spot, start off small. Like, I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for this comfortable bed I get to sleep in. But really feel into it. And so what I mean by that is like, like for me, right now I have a gratitude tree. It's November, so I started a gratitude tree. And so every day I'm trying to focus on something that I'm grateful for. And so the other day, like I was talking about how I'm so grateful for my husband's humor. And I really felt into it because truthfully, I am. Like, his humor has gotten us through such hard times. And so it just brings me so much happiness. It's one of the reasons why I fell in love with him. So just like feeling into that emotion, like just thinking of things that you're truly grateful for that maybe you don't really think about all the time. And when you do that, again, it's like it raises your frequency. You're in this space. It's beautiful. Okay. So you get it. And if you do like to write, maybe you like to type, maybe you use the notes app on your phone, whatever it is, just write. I really encourage you, like, write it out. I know you can think about it, but writing it out even like affirms it. So that's why that's why a lot of us say journaling, because writing it down affirms it to the universe. You're saying, I am grateful for, my family. I love my family. I love my kids, even though they drive me crazy. I love my kids, So affirming it into the universe, it like gets the universe's attention that you're in this high vibrational frequency. And when you're in this high vibrational frequency, that's when you manifest. That's when you're attracting the abundance, the job, the career, because you're living in that vibration and the universe wants to bring that back to you. Okay, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but I started getting passionate there. And in the morning, my husband will probably laugh if he's watching this, because I'm really not one to like love cleaning, and I commend all you women out there who love to have their house spotless and like love doing chores. Like, you are my hero. I am not that. I really wish I was. I try to do something small, like a small little chore. For a while, like I was doing really good about making our bed, and I don't know what it is, but when you make your bed in the morning, like I don't know. It does something for the day. Like even if like you have to go back into your bedroom and get something, it's just like so nice to see your bed made. Is anybody else out there making their beds every morning? I mean, maybe I need to start doing that again. But my task is making sure my son is ready to like go to school. He's had his vitamins, he's had his breakfast, like that feels productive. So doing something productive, even if it's small. Okay. And some grounding practices. So this entire video, I have been holding a hematite crystal. I love crystals. I even have a crystal shop because I love crystals so much. But hematite I love because it is heavy. It has some weight to it. And so when you hold it in your palm, it just, I don't know, I feel like it's like actually bringing me back down into the body. So for me, it's a beautiful grounding stone. Some other options are black tourmaline, smoky quartz. There's tons out there. If you want ideas, I'm happy to share. Just leave a comment. The other thing too is if you can, try to meditate and prompt another eye roll. I know it's hard for some, but start off small, even if it's for a minute a day. I mean, come on, you can do a minute. Like you go to the bathroom, even if like your household needs you 24/7, just go to the bathroom and turn on a 1-minute meditation. Just start with 1 minute for a week, okay? It can really set the tone for your day. It can really shift your mindset. And do a guided one. That way you can listen to somebody's voice. They guide you through it. If you can't meditate, then do something that's a little more informal, like a repetitive task. Could be doing the dishes, folding laundry, just something that helps keep your mind a little clear. And if you're one where you constantly have a lot of things on your mind and you're always thinking about everything you have to do, next time you're doing that task, as much as you can, try to clear the mind, do the task, fold the laundry, do the dishes, put on some calming spa music if you have to, and just try to clear the mind as much as possible. Maybe start there if you're one that's like, I cannot meditate, I can't sit still. But start off small. Those are key in grounding. And again, there's a lot of power in pausing. If you need to step away, step away. You know yourself best. You know yourself better than anybody else, and you know your limitations. So, and set your boundaries, right? So, I mean, that is super duper important. If you know that you have a family member or a friend that is calling you daily and you're just exhausted after getting off the phone with them, don't pick up the phone. You'll have like a little tough love here, but you're gonna have to start standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, I'm gonna start this practice of not being on the phone after 7 o'clock every day. I need a little more time to myself. Put your foot down. People will listen to you. They'll get it. I get everyone's situations are different, but just little practices here and there. Start small. If you need ideas, happy to share them. If you have a specific situation that maybe didn't quite fit into what I was sharing, reach out to me. I'm happy to help give some advice. So that's it for today. I hope that this content resonated with you. Happy to answer any questions you might have. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I look forward to the next one with you all.